Okay, guys, I hope that you watched the previous message on the trumpets. We blew the trumpet for the lion, for the ox, for the man, for the eagle. And we were waving the banner and we were declaring the trumpets. And I know for a lot of you don't really understand, what it was I was doing here. So I want to do more of a teaching. That was a declaration, okay, of these trumpets, these 4 trumpets. Now we're going to go into more detail. Now, what I strongly encourage you to do is to please watch the previous videos. I'm going to put in the links in the description field, where we talk about the trumpet, okay? Because you look at a trumpet, you think it's a trumpet, but there's really 2 things going on with the trumpet. There's a voice of the trumpet, which is phone, like phone. Okay, so when I go like this, it means voice, phone. And there's a actual sound of the trumpet. Okay, there are 2 different words in the Greek and 2 different words and symbolisms in the Hebrew. Okay, now please watch the other videos on that because I've gone over the distinction. Okay, there's a distinction in the sound. Okay, and that's what we're observing in the deep mysteries that's happening in Revelation chapter 6. Okay, so guys, please watch those videos. I strongly encourage you to pause this video, look at the description field of the video, and you're going to see some messages on the trumpet. Please watch that. Okay, because many of the things I'm going to tell you are probably the first time you ever heard them if you're new to this message, if you're new to this channel. Okay, that doesn't mean they're not so, but it's just you don't know. Okay, and we're educating ourselves, we're learning. Okay, so the thing that we're learning, guys, is, okay, when we look at Revelation chapters 7, okay, what you really have to do is you have to study. You have to dig into the mysteries, into the original language, okay? And that's what we're going to explain to you. Many times people ask me, Leland, what, translation do you read? It doesn't matter, all right? What you need is a translation that will take you to the original Hebrew. It'll take you to the original Greek, okay? And when you do that, you'll begin to learn, the things that have been added. Now, English, I like English because there's lots of words which give you a very description of what you're trying to communicate. Things like pronouns and all the words, okay? But those words are not in Hebrew and those words are not in Greek. They're added. And for the most part, there's no problem. But when we come to deep mysteries, okay, they're added and sometimes they can change a whole new meaning. All right, so I'll give you an example. Now, in Revelation chapter 6, you have 4 creatures, okay, 4 beasts, lion, ox, man, eagle. And what they do is they open the first 4 seals, okay? Now, in one of those seals, John says he heard a voice, okay? Voice is phone. So when I go like this, it's phone, where we get the word phone, okay? I heard a voice in the middle of the 4 beasts, okay? So there's a voice, there's a sound, a voice from the 4 beasts, okay? And as we continue in the last couple verses of Revelation chapter 6, it's the people are hiding from the face of him that sits on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Okay, so the people are seeing the face of the one on the throne, and it's the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come. Who shall be able to stand? Then, Revelation chapter 7 is a continuation. After these things, I saw. Now, what did he just see? He just saw the throne. Okay? The people were hiding from the face of him that sits on the throne. Okay, now, I'm going to have to show you a lot of graphics, guys, to explain this. But in this graphic, this is the throne. And in the throne is the yellow in the center. And around the throne, now where we're getting this is Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 1 and Ezekiel chapter 10. And there are living creatures positioned, okay? North, south, east, and west. Lion, ox, man, eagle, okay? And they're standing, okay? Now, you see them standing in Ezekiel, okay? They're standing on their feet. They have feet of a calf, okay? But they have 4 faces. So when we're looking at the throne, we're looking at an orientation of angels, okay? And that orientation, remember, we just saw the throne, okay? Hiding from the Lamb seated on the throne. That's what his throne looks like, okay? Then John says, after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth. So again, we're looking at this arrangement, okay? North, south, east, west. Lion, ox, man, eagle, okay? And they were holding the 4 winds of the earth. Now, the winds relate to, in Ezekiel, there are lion, ox, man, eagle, and in fact, while I want to do this, guys, I want to remember this. You know how we have the number 4, okay? The number 4 actually comes from this arrangement because when you look at it, it starts with lion, you were drawing a 4, and then ox is opposite, and then man is here, and then eagle. So it actually is drawing a number 4 in this orientation, okay? This might look backwards on the video, I'm not sure, but that's the number 4. The number 4 comes from these positions, east, west, south, north. It draws the number 4. That's where we get it from. When you have the 4 with the point at the top, obviously, guys. But, okay, 4. After these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners, holding the 4 winds. Okay? So, you have 4 angels standing, lion, ox, man, eagle, standing on the 4 corners, east, west, south, north, and they're holding the 4 wheels. Now, in Ezekiel, we have them drawn here. They are holding these wheels. So then the wheels are also positioned in this orientation. You have the living creatures, north, south, east, west, and you also have these wheels. So this is what John is describing, is this orientation of the throne, okay? Now, pay some close attention to this, guys, that they're holding the 4 winds, okay? That the wind should not blow on the earth, on the sea, and on any tree. Okay, so you have 4 winds, and these 4 winds, remember there's a voice from these coming from the midst of the living creatures. Okay, now we have the earth, we have the sea, we have the tree. Okay, then John in verse 2 says, I saw another angel ascending from the east. Now, this is where you need to study the original Greek, because in English, you know, what happens is they translate it from Greek to English and then all the other languages. So if you have a Spanish and Portuguese and French, many of the other languages will be based on the English King James, okay? But the problem is with all these languages is if a word is omitted, okay, it's very, very important. It's very significant what's happening here. All right? But we don't know. We don't know that when it says east, when you're reading east in English, it's actually 2 words. It's the word east and the word sun. Now, why is that important? Well, the reason that's important is because these are trumpets. Okay, when it says the 4 winds, these 4 winds relate to the 4 trumpets. Why? Oh, excuse me. Because the judgments affect the earth, the sea, the tree, and the sun. Those are the first 4 trumpets that you see in Revelation chapter 8. Okay? So here, don't let the winds blow. Don't let the trumpets blow, okay, until we have sealed the servants of God on their forehead. Now, again, here in Revelation 7:2, you know, the English, again, does not do us justice. Okay, so we have east, which is two words, right? East and sun, but in English you just see east, okay? When you see seal, it's just one word in English, but in the Greek, it's two words, okay? It is, how do I say this here? I don't know how to pronounce this word, guys. But the Greek word for seal, it says it twice. It's a repeat. It says, basically, if we were to say it in English, we'd say seal, seal, or 2 times seal. Now, this is very significant because this is not just one seal, but 2, or a double seal, okay? And what does that mean exactly? Well, I'm not going to get into it in this one because I want to have you focus on the trumpets, all right? But let's keep going. He had the seal of the living God. Now, this is where just a simple word can change so much meaning, okay? Having the seal of the living God. And he cried. Now, this is what it says, okay, in the King James Version, but I'm going to go back over this. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom was given to hurt the earth and the sea. He said, okay, so what this is saying is the angel that is, you know, with the seal is saying with a loud voice to the 4 angels, okay, but what we have is we have the addition of some English words here, 2 words. He cried, okay, and to the 4 angels. So, just listen to it this way, guys. And this is eliminating those words and just trying to read the Greek as close as possible. Okay, so the angel that ascended from the east sun, having the seal of the living God, and cried with a loud voice 4 angels to whom was given. So now, when you read that, you're hearing a cry, a loud voice, and 4 angels to whom was given the earth, and the sea. So clearly, the 4 angels is this orientation, okay, of 4 angels standing, 4 winds about to blow, okay, and those are judgments. Now, the other place that we do see this is in Revelation chapter 8, verse 13. And this is this distinction, guys, of this trumpet. So pay close attention to this, okay? And I beheld and heard an angel flying, okay? Now flying here, now we're in Revelation chapter 8. The first 4 trumpets have blown, okay? And this is the last verse in Revelation 8, verse 13. I heard an angel flying is like an eagle, okay, through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices, phone, okay, of the trumpet, of the 3 angels which are yet to sound, sphragizō. Okay, did you see that? So, what we have is we have 2 trumpets, or 2 ways of this trumpet, all right? So we have one which is a voice of the trumpet, okay? And then we have another which is a sound of the trumpet, sphragizō. So what is happening is we have a sound of the trumpet, a voice of the trumpet, okay? That's what we're declaring. Now, this is very important because these trumpets, there's something else going on here. The 4 beasts have trumpets, okay? And I showed you in the other video, there's a trumpet of a lion, a trumpet of an ox, a trumpet of a man, a trumpet of an eagle in the prophecies, okay? If you don't know what I'm talking about, again, watch the previous video. I'll put a link in the description field. But what is happening is, remember, this is an orientation, okay? Lion, ox, man, eagle. Okay, lion, ox, man, eagle are also banners and standards. So what's happening here is there's a voice from the living creatures, okay? A voice of assembly, okay? And remember, we had four winds. So let's look at 1 Thessalonians 4:16. Very popular verse. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. Okay, so this is a command. All right, this is what we're telling you, is there's a voice, there's a shout, there's a command of assembly. Okay, with the voice, okay, of the archangel. So we're showing you this voice of the archangel, the voice out of the midst of lion, ox, man, eagle. Okay, all right. This voice of the archangel with the trump of God. Now here in 1 Thessalonians 4:16, you can see that the word for trumpet associated with trumpet is voice of the trumpet. Okay? And this is the same voice which is going forth now to assemble from the north, south, east, and west. That's why we're blowing the trumpet. That's why we're waving the banners. But then you may say, but Leland, that voice will not blow until the Lord descends from heaven with a shout. And that is absolutely correct. And that's what we see again in Matthew 24. He says he will send his angels with a great voice, phone, of the trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect. Okay? So what are we doing? We're practicing. We're saying there's this voice of the trumpet because we have a withholding. Remember, it said in Revelation 7:2, don't let the four winds blow on the earth, on the sea, on the trees, okay? And the angel came from the east sun, okay? Don't let those trumpets blow, sphragizō, okay? Until something happens. What is that? That's the day and hour no man knows. So, what this is saying is we are in the times of the trumpets, okay? But the trumpets are being withheld. The judgment and impact of the trumpets is being withheld until something happens. What is that? The Son of Man, the sign of the Son of Man in the clouds, okay? So here you have the orientation, lion, ox, man, eagle, four winds, four wheels, coming, okay? Now, then what happens in Revelation chapter 7, as you know, you see 12 tribes, all right? Then you see 12 tribes. Now those 12 tribes come in an order, in an orientation of east, west, south, north, with banners, lion, ox, man, eagle, okay? And then there's a number, which are sealed. Okay, remember the word sealed was there twice. Now, the other thing that, where we're getting all this information, guys, is in this story. The thing I'm describing to you is so consistent throughout all the scriptures. So let's go to Numbers. And in Numbers, so you know, in Numbers chapter 2, for time's sake we won't read it, but there's an orientation in Numbers chapter 2 of the tribes. So there's 12 tribes, and they're put in position of 4 primary camps. Okay? Judah, Reuben, and Ephraim, and Dan. Okay? And that is an orientation of, Judah is east, Reuben is south, Ephraim is west, and Dan is north. Okay? So the tribes were put in position, okay? And remember, those also relate to lion. So you have lion, Reuben is man, okay? Ephraim is ox, and Dan is eagle. So that's why we're waving the banner, that's why we're blowing the trumpet, because the voice of the trumpet is going forth to assemble. Now, we also find this same thing in Numbers chapter 10. In Numbers chapter 10, the Lord spoke to Moses saying, make 2 trumpets. Okay, so remember, we have 2 trumpets. Now, what does that mean? That the 2 trumpets, what they mean is make 2 silver trumpets. That's because there's a voice, phone, of the trumpet, and there's a sphragizō, blowing of the trumpet. Okay, so there's 2 silver trumpets here. All right, and then it says to blow an alarm. When you blow an alarm, the camps that lie in the east will go. Okay? Blow an alarm a second time, then the camps at the south. Okay, so this is an orientation to assemble. All right? To blow the trumpets. Okay? And for time's sake, I won't read it, but please read Numbers 10 in more detail because it talks about this sound. Now, what I'm saying is you should hear these sounds. Now, we're practicing. These sounds are going forth to assemble the armies in preparation from when the Son of Man appears in the clouds, because he will also have these trumpets blow. Okay, so we must understand these sounds. Okay, now in Numbers 10, it also talks about a standard. All right, so in Numbers 10, verse 14, in the first, there was a standard of the camp of the children of Judah. Okay, and we know that Judah is east. And then there's a standard, verse 18, for Reuben, south. There's a standard for Ephraim, west. And there's a standard for Dan, which is north. And as well, the standard is lion, Judah. The standard is man, Reuben. The standard is ox, Ephraim. And the standard is eagle in Dan. Okay? So there, we can clearly see that there's a distinction, guys. There's two trumpets. There's a voice of a trumpet and a sphragizō, sound of the trumpet. Okay, now, this is very, very important because what's going to happen is this, guys. When the Son of Man appears in the clouds, in his throne, in his glory, he's going to descend. When he descends, there's going to be this command, this voice, this command of the archangel. It's one sound. Okay? But in the meantime, there's sounds of assembly for war. This is a series of videos where we're preparing the army to assemble for war. Okay? So he's going to come, he's going to assemble. Now, all the verses that relate to him gathering the elect, okay, that's a great voice of a trumpet, phone, okay, in Matthew 24. But there's also a sphragizō. All right, now the sphragizō is the actual trumpet sound. Okay, there's a voice and there's a sphragizō, a sound. So that sound I just gave is sphragizō in Greek. Okay, now this is what it says in 1 Corinthians 15. Behold, I show you a mystery. Now that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm showing you the mystery. In a moment, in twinkling eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound. In Greek, that word is sphragizō. So the last trump is the seventh trump. Okay? And that is a command, sphragizō, for the great multitude. Okay? But for the 144,000, they have a voice. That's why in Numbers 10, there are two trumpets. There's a voice trumpet and a sphragizō trumpet, or sound of the trumpet. Okay? And this is very, very consistent, guys, throughout all the scripture. When the Lord descended upon Mount Sinai and gave the children of Israel the law, it talks about this sound of the trumpet, the Lord's voice as a sound of a trumpet. As well, in Revelation chapter 1, John hears the voice, sound of the trumpet. The Lord Jesus Christ is speaking to him. As well, in Revelation chapter 4, verse 1, there's a voice of a trumpet that speaks to John and says, behold, I will open a door to you to the Spirit. All right? And you will see these things. Okay? Come and see. Remember all the Revelation 4:1, come and see. Come up hither. Okay? In Revelation 6, in the four seals, the living creatures say, come and see. All right? And what happens is there's a sound in the midst of these living creatures. Okay? And so that is what's happening. And you may say, oh, Leland, when is this going to happen? Physically, we don't know the day or the hour, guys. Okay? And you say, well, Leland, you said we're in the trumpets. Yes, we are. We are in these trumpets. We're in the phone trumpets, okay? The phone is assembling the armies, okay? But the effect of the sphragizō trumpets is being withheld, okay? That's what is happening in Revelation chapter 7. It's a very, very unique circumstance. What you have to do, guys, is you have to go over these scriptures, all right? Now, some other things, let me see, let me check my notes here. I have a lot on this. Let me just also reiterate and just repeat, guys, the order of what's happening. We have 4 trumpets, okay? We have lion, which is east, okay? Which is Judah, okay? Which is white, okay? We have ox, which is west, which is Ephraim, which is red. These are all trumpets. We have man, which is south, which is Reuben, which is black. We have eagle, which is north, which is Dan, which is pale. Okay, it's all in perfect order. Just like in New Jerusalem, there are gates in the east, west, north, and south. These are trumpets of assembly. Okay? Now, with that being said, guys, there's also something I want to share with you as I conclude here. I'm probably going to have to do some more on this because there are other aspects of the trumpet of what's taking place. But you know, I'm a musician, right? Now, I'm not a trumpet player. This is just a, you know, kind of symbolic trumpet. But I've studied the scriptures, and there's something very, very interesting, guys. And that is this idea. I learned this many, many years ago, that musical instruments have a voice. So this concept to me I've known for many, many years. Because in the scriptures it says they had one voice. That means that the people were singing one sound and the instruments were making the same sound. So that means that the instruments actually speak and say words. Okay? And that's very, very true. Someone that really knows music will speak to you with music. Okay? We know David did that, and he could cast out demons by music. Now, I'm not a trumpet player, but, you know, I play this. If you've seen this is called the Chapman stick, but I call it a psaltery. I call it a harp. It's like a modern, you know, instrument. So, when it says that they'll be harping with their harps, to me, that is this instrument, this sound, okay? Now, I'm showing you this. I play this all the time, and I worship the Lord, and I sing the scriptures. But I also want to show you something about sound, about math, and about the things I'm telling you, okay? So, for example, in music, guys, if you, even if you're not a musician, I'm not going to be very technical, it's very simple. But you know a piano has white keys and black keys, okay? The white keys are one key, the key of C, okay? And then there's black keys. Now the total number of notes is 12, okay? So here we have 12, just like we have the 12 tribes of children of Israel. Musically, there's the number 12. But within a key, okay, with a key, what that means is that's one cluster of notes that you play together. There is 7. Okay, so now we have critical numbers. It's 12, 7. Okay, now when you make a note, you make one sound. Okay, that's one sound. But when you make what we call a chord, that's 3 sounds. Okay, so these are numbers, guys. So 1, 3, 5. Okay, now the tribes of the children of Israel are 12, right? So we can actually play the tribes of the children of Israel musically. I'm going to show you this, all right? Now, the first one is Judah. So this is Judah. Okay, that's the main tribe, tribe 1. Okay, now then we count 4, and then we come to the tribe of, Reuben. Now this would be Reuben. Okay, that's the number 4. Okay, then we will go, and we're counting, okay, these are the main tribes. Now we're counting another 3. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and that's the tribe of of Gad. And this is Gad. And then you count another 3, and the 10th tribe is Zebulun. So let's do that again. That was the main tribe. So this is actually the sound that we're releasing for the tribe. So we have Judah, which is east. Okay. We have Reuben, which is south. We have Gad, which is west. Okay, and then we have Zebulun. And Zebulun is north. Now what I'm playing for you is the tribes of the new song of the 144,000. Now, those are the four main tribes. Now, we can also continue the cycle. Now, if we continue the cycle, it will go Judah, Reuben, Gad, Zebulun, okay, 4, then Levi, Issachar, Benjamin. So now we have 7 of the 12 tribes. And this is actually something you can play musically. So now I'll play it for you. So we have Judah, Reuben, Gad, Zebulun, and then Levi, Issachar, Benjamin, and Judah. Isn't that amazing? So that is, maybe that's the Song of the Lamb. I don't know what that is. It's just the notes. So guys, the notes are 12. Of the 12, you have 7 that form a key. Of those 7, you can form chords. Okay, so let's do it again. We have Judah, Reuben, Gad, Zebulun, Levi, Issachar, Benjamin, and back to Judah. So guys, what I'm doing is I'm actually playing music. I'm playing sounds that are speaking. And what those sounds are speaking are the tribes of the children of Israel. Okay, now we know those are clearly notes, and those notes can form a song. So guys, thanks for watching. Please watch these other videos. The orientation I just gave you musically is basically what we see in Revelation chapter 7. Okay? Then in Revelation 14, they have a new song. And the voice that you hear is the voice of harpers, many waters, and there's a sound of worshiping the Lamb. Guys, that's what it's all about. He's coming. The Lamb is coming on his throne. Okay? And what we're showing you, again, if this is difficult for you to understand, please watch the other videos where we talk about the phone. We talk about the sphragizō in great detail. Okay? So guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to have much more on this. What we're doing is we're assembling the army. This is a playlist, guys, on the Great Army. I strongly, strongly encourage you to watch these recent videos. They all come together. They all cluster together, okay? So thanks for watching. God bless you. And guys, watch and pray that you be counted worthy to escape all these things. In Jesus Christos' name, amen.